Hey guys, today I will be showing you how to crochet a chicken. Let's get right into it. So the materials that you will need is a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors, 16mm safety eyes, some stuffing, and you'll also need white yarn, yellow yarn, and red yarn. And I use Premier Parfait chunky yarn, but you can use whichever yarn you like. So to start off, you're going to grab your white yarn and you're going to do a magic ring. I'm going to use the 2-chain magic ring method, which I will show you, but you can also use the normal magic ring method. So you're going to do a slip knot, tighten your slip knot, and do 2 chains. Then you're going to do your 6 single crochets into the first chain, and that will be your first round. And now you're going to tighten your magic ring. And for the next round, you are going to do 6 increases. So 2 single crochets into each stitch. Once you've completed your second round, we're going to put our stitch marker in. I use scrap yarn as my stitch marker. For the next round, we are going to do single crochet increase times 6. So single crochet and then an increase into the next stitch. And then we're going to do that just 6 times in total. After you've completed that round, we'll move the stitch marker up another round, and then for the following round we are going to do 2 single crochets and an increase times 6. So 1, 2, increase, and do that all the way round. Now for the next round, we are going to do 3 single crochets increase times 6. After this round, we should have 30 stitches in total. For round 6, we are going to do 4 single crochets and an increase times by 6. After you've completed that round, we are now going to single crochet for 7 rounds. So from round 7 to 13, we're just going to single crochet all the way around the outside, and we're going to do that 7 times in total. Okay, so once we have finished those 7 rounds of single crochet, we're going to move the stitch marker up and we can start decreasing. So for the first round of decreases, we're going to be doing 4 single crochets and a decrease times 6. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a decrease. And we're going to do that 6 times. So after we've completed that round, we're going to put the safety eyes in. You're going to grab your 16mm safety eyes. So we're going to put them in between rounds 10 and 11, and they're going to be approximately 8 stitches apart. So I'll just clip it in using the backing. Now we're going to move on to the next round, which is 3 single crochets and a decrease times 6. Now for the following round, we are going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times 6. After this round, we'll have 18 stitches. Now we're going to grab a good amount of stuffing, and we're going to begin stuffing the chicken's body. We're not going to completely stuff the chicken yet, we'll do that after the next round. So for the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease times 6. Now we're going to add a little bit more stuffing before we do the final round. Now for the final round, we're going to do 6 decreases. Now we're just going to leave a little bit of a tail for sewing the chicken shut. And we're going to pull through the yarn. We'll grab our yarn needle and we're going to sew the chicken shut. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go into the front loop of the following stitch like this. And then we're going to go into the front loop of the following stitch from the back, and the front loop of the next stitch and the following stitch. And we're going to pull it tight. Now I'm just going to lead the tail to some point in the body like this, and I'm just going to cut off the yarn there. And that is the base of the chicken complete. Okay, so now we're going to put the body aside and we're going to move on to the arms. So for the arms, we're going to start off with a magic ring. So I'm going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 4 single crochets into that first chain. Then for the next round, we are going to do 4 increases. For round 3, we're just going to single crochet round, so 8 single crochets for 1 round. And finally, for the next round, we're going to do 4 decreases. Once you've completed that, we'll just tuck the tail inside. And then we're going to leave a tail for sewing. So we'll cut it off about there. And we're going to pull this through. And now we're going to make another arm exactly the same. So first of all, we're going to do 4 single crochets into the magic ring once again. And then we're going to do 4 increases. And now we're going to do 8 single crochets. And then for the final round, we're once again going to do 4 single crochets. And now we're going to leave a tail for sewing. Now we're going to grab our red yarn and we're going to make the comb for the chicken. So we're going to start off with 4 single crochets in a magic ring. And then we're going to do 4 increases. And now we're just going to single crochet for 1 round. Then we're going to leave a tail for sewing. And we're going to make another one exactly like that. Four single crochets into the magic ring. And then we're going to do 4 increases. And now we're just going to single crochet for 1 round. Now we'll just leave a tail for sewing. And pull through. Now we're going to get started on the sewing. So first of all, we're going to embroider the beak right here. So grab your yellow yarn and grab your yarn needle. So here is the middle point between the two eyes, so approximately here. So we're going to bring the yarn from a random point down here to around here, right beside the middle. And then we're going to bring it 3 stitches over. So this is like the middle point-ish. 3 stitches over, and then we're going to bring it back to this point. Like this. Now we're going to go back into that point, just so it's double layered, and then we're going to bring it back to the starting point. So now we have something resembling a beak. We're going to cut off the yarn over here, and we're going to do a double knot and then poke that yarn inside just so it can all stay together. So once we've double knotted, just cut off a bit more yarn and then poke it inside. Okay, so now we're going to sew the arms on. So grab your little arms, and these will just go on the side of the body, sort of just like this. I'm going to put it into the yarn needle, the tail that we left for sewing. Also, I forgot to mention, make sure that where you started is at the top and where you finished off is at the bottom. You can tell the difference because this is super neat and this is a little bit messier down here, because the eyes should be slightly higher than the middle. So find the point in the middle on the side, so about here, and we're going to sew into one round below the eyes, so approximately here. So I'm just going to put my needle in, pull some yarn through, and then we're going to put it through the arm. And then we're going to put it back into the body. And we're just going to keep doing the same process of putting it into the body and then into the arm. Back and forth. So then we're going to bring the yarn, once you're happy with how secure it is, to a random point in the back of the body, and we'll tie it together with the tail from the other arm at the end. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other arm. We're going to try and match up the positioning in comparison to the body. So I think about here should be right in the row below the eyes. So into the body and then into the arm. And then back into the body, into the arm again. Now we're going to bring it to the exact same point as where the tail from the other arm is. I'm going to tie them in a double knot, then cut off the excess yarn, and we'll poke that inside the body. So this is what we have so far, and now we're going to put the comb on top of the head. So grab the two parts, and how they're going to be positioned is they're going to be at the top and the middle, and they're going to be one in front of the other like this. So from the side it looks like this. So we'll do the front one first of all. So it just has to be just in front of the center. So we want it to be from here to here, so we're going to put our needle in about here and then bring it to the center. And then we're going to put it in the back of that part of the comb. Bring it back into the body. And we're going to make sure the front part is down properly. And then once again, we're going to bring it to around a point, approximately over here. And now we will finally sew the second part of the comb on, and then afterwards your chicken will be complete. So grab your second part, and we're just going to sew it on directly behind the first part. So we'll just sew into this bit, and then we'll bring it back a few stitches as well. And now we're going to bring it to that same point that you brought the other tail. And we're just going to tie these two together like we did on the other parts. And then we'll cut off any excess yarn and poke it inside. You have finished making your chicken now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I post new tutorials every week. The written pattern for this chicken will also be available on my Etsy, and that'll be in the link in the description. I also have free patterns over on my Instagram, 1 Cent Crochet, if you want to go check that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.